Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jasodhanandana Braj Jana Ranjana Jasodhanandana Braj Jana Ranjana Jasoda Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Jasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jasoda Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Sri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivāsadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivāsadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hey Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Hey Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Vrindavan Dham. Jaya Lalita Vishakha, Jaya Radhe Shyam, Lalita Vishakha, Jaya Radhe Shyam. Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. जय जय गुरुदेव 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 गुरुदेव। नित्यलीला प्रविष्ट जयं विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद एसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ षड गोस्वामी प्रभुगण की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री श्री वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय। जय श्री श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। जय श्री श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। जय श्री श्री द्वारका धाम की जय। श्री श्री अयोध्या धाम की जय। जय श्री श्री बद्रिका धाम की जय। जय श्री श्री कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदायिनी श्री श्री वृंदा देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। जय श्री श्री गंगा मैया की जय। जय श्री जमुना मैया की जय। जुग धर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। जय श्री श्री हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय। उपस्थित समस्त भक्त वृंद की जय। All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guruvan Gauranga Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashta Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Ruttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna. So on this most auspicious occasion of Ekadashi, I am first of all seeking the mercy of all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis and paying my humble obeisances at your feet. And after a long time actually I have been asked to speak on Bhagavad Gita. So today we are going to discuss chapter 6 verse number 18. 1-8. Sixth chapter. The title of the chapter is Dhyana Yoga, also called Sankhya Yoga. So I'll just read the slok. You all can repeat. Yadā viniyataṁ cittam ātmany evāvatiṣṭhate nispṛhaḥ sarva-kāmebhyo yukta ucyate tadā. Yadā viniyataṁ cittam ātmany evāvatiṣṭhate nispṛhaḥ sarva-kāmebhyo yukta ucyate tadā. Yadā viniyataṁ cittam ātmany evāvatiṣṭhate nispṛhaḥ sarva-kāmebhyo yukta itte ucyate tadā yadā viniyataṁ cittam ātmany evāvatiṣṭhate nispṛhaḥ sarva-kāmebhyo yukta itte ucyate tadā. Please repeat. Yadā viniyate cittam ātmany evāvatiṣṭhate nispṛhaḥ sarva-kāmebhyo yukta itte ucyate tadā. Yadā viniyataṁ cittam ātmany evāvatiṣṭhate nispṛhaḥ sarva-kāmebhyo yukta itte ucyate tadā.
yadā viniyataṁ
cittam
ātmani evāvatiṣṭhate nispṛhaḥ sarva-kāmebhyo yukta iti ucyate tadā.
yadā viniyataṁ
cittam
ātmani evāvatiṣṭhate
ātmani evāvatiṣṭhate
nispṛhaḥ sarva-kāmebhyo
yukta iti ucyate tadā.
tadā.
Mataji. ātmani evāvatiṣṭhate nispṛhaḥ sarva-kāmebhyo yukta iti ucyate tadā. Word to word meaning. Yada, when. Viniyatam, particularly disciplined. Cittam, the mind and its activities. Ātmani, in the transcendence. Eva, suddenly. Avatiṣṭhate, becomes situated. Nispṛhaḥ, devoid of desire. Sarva, for all kinds of. Kāmebhyaḥ, material sense gratification. Yuktaḥ, well situated in yoga. Iti, thus. Ucyate, it's said to be. Tadā, at that time. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Jagadguru Śrīla Prabhupada ki. When the yogi, by practice of yoga, disciplines his mental activities and becomes situated in transcendence, devoid of all material desires, he is said to be well established in yoga. Purport. The activities of the yogi are distinguished from those of an ordinary person by his characteristic cessation from all kinds of material desires, of which sex is the chief. A perfect yogi is so well disciplined in the activities of the mind that he can no longer be disturbed by any kind of material desire. This perfectional stage can be automatically attained by the persons in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, as stated in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 9th canto, 4th chapter, verse number 18 to 20. Savai manah Kṛṣṇa padaravindayor vācāṁ sivaikunṭha gunānuvarnane karau harer mandiramarjanadisu śrutim cakarāchyuta sat kathodyate mukundalingālaya darsane drisau tadbhrutya gatra sparsenga sangamam घ्राणं च तत्पाद सरोज सौरभे श्रीमत्तुलस्यारसनां तदर्पिते पादौ हरे क्षेत्र पदानुस्पर्शने Shiro Hrusikeša padabhinam vandane Kāmam chadasyena tu kāma-kāmyāya Yatha-tama sloke janasraya ratihi. King Ambarish first of all engaged his mind on the lotus feet of Lord Kṛṣṇa. Then, one after another, he engaged his words in describing the transcendental qualities of the Lord, his hands in mopping the temple of the Lord, his ears in hearing of the activities of the Lord, his eyes in seeing the transcendental forms of the Lord, his body in touching the bodies of the devotees, his sense of smell in smelling the scents of the lotus flowers offered to the Lord, his tongue in tasting the tulsi leaf offered at the lotus feet of the Lord, his legs in going to places of pilgrimage and the temple of the Lord, his head in offering obeisances unto the Lord, and his desires in executing the mission of the Lord. All these transcendental activities are quite befitting a pure devotee. This transcendental stage may be inexpressible subjectively by the followers of the impersonalist path, but it becomes very easy and practical for a person in Krishna consciousness, as is apparent in the above description of the engagements of Maharaj Ambarisha. Unless the mind is fixed on the lotus feet of the Lord by constant remembrance, such transcendental engagements are not practical. In the devotional service of the Lord, therefore, these prescribed activities are called archana, or engaging all the senses in the service of the Lord. The senses and the mind require engagements. Simple abnegation is not practical. Therefore, for people in general, especially those who are not in the renounced order of life, transcendental engagement of the senses and the mind, as described above, is the perfect process for transcendental achievement, which is called yukta in the Bhagavad Gita. Om ajnānatimirandhasya jnānanjana-salakaya चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं स हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपीककान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितनं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमः वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणं श्रीपरमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यैश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. So, this is a very interesting verse today because all of you have been hearing this very important chapter, and sixth chapter. It is called Dhyan Yoga. Though actually it's actually the last chapter of Karma Yoga, right? So in this section, which starts from 18th verse to 23rd verse, almost 5 verses. So what Kṛṣṇa is gradually taking Arjuna toward the Samadhi stage. You all have heard the 8 stages of Ashtanga Yoga. Yes? Yama, Niyama, and then Asana, then Pranayam, Pratyahar, then Dharan, Dhyan and Samadhi. So almost we are entering towards the last stage of Ashtanga Yoga. So this sloka, in particular this verse, it shows what are the different criteria required for a perfect yogī. As you can see, out of the 4 lines, you can read the sloka. Once again I am reading. Yadā viniyataṁ cittam. This is the first line. And second one is ātmany evāvatiṣṭhate. Second. Third one is nispṛhaḥ sarva-kāmebhyo. These 3 lines are the prerequisite for a perfect yogī who has attained the yoga rudha stage. All of you must have aware there is a yoga ladder. You know, the lowest platform is called vikarmis. Those who are very, very sinful. They are always engaged in various activities against the scriptural rules and regulations. They are vikarmis. You know, most of the people in the material world, they are vikarmis. They don't have any shastric knowledge. We go for preaching and we see practically they don't want to hear also. It's so, because Kali Yuga, it is natural, expected. They are always behind sense gratification. So they are the vikarmis, almost like animal life, just confined to eating, mating, defending and sleeping. That's all. No concept of dharma, adharma. Just like Mahabharata, the famous sloka is there, dharmena hina pasubhi samana. So like that, we see, then little better are the sakam karmis. Sakam, they are also yogis, karma yogis, but they have some material desire, they have some fruity mentality. They want to get something, whatever they do. So they are called sakam. Better than that is niskam karma yoga. So this sloka is related to that. Okay? Niskam karma yoga, and better than that is jnana yogis, and those who want to merge with the impersonal Brahman, and better than that is ashtanga yogis. Right? We are at that stage. And after that, the real thing is what is bhava bhakti and prem bhakti. So these are the stages of yoga ladder. So we are at what stage? Ashtanga yoga. And Ashtanga yoga has 2 parts. The first, up to the point of beginning part of Ashtanga, up to the point of, you can say, yam, niyam, asana, pranayam and pratyahar. Up to that stage, it is called yoga arura. Arura means it's the beginning stage. And once one achieves the goal, that is the perfect stage, that is called yoga rudha. Rudha means it is the highest, it is the culminate. It is the top level of the Ashtanga yoga. So it is called yoga rudha. So this sloka, this verse, it tells about the yoga rudha stage. It is also called the samadhi stage. So almost all the other things you have been hearing, like yesterday you must have heard yukta hara viharasya sloka, right? Those who have attended yesterday's class. So Radhacharan Prabhu was telling how to regulate our eating habit, sleeping, recreation and work. So by all these things, then only we can enter the yoga platform. If somebody is, then the previous sloka, that is 6 point, this chapter and the 16th words, 16, 17, these 2 slokas. So out of that, 17 says, in the previous sloka, you must regulate. But the 16th verse says, if you don't regulate, you are unfit for yoga. Right? So negative and positive. So today it starts, yadā viniyataṁ cittam. Yada means when. When that stage is going to come, when I want to be perfect. Yes, that question comes in our mind. When, yadā. And the last word is tadā. You see, it begins with yadā, it ends with tadā. When you do these 3 things, then you are yukta. You are attached to Kṛṣṇa. You are connected to Kṛṣṇa, yukta. There also in the previous sloka, that yukta vairagya. There the meaning is different, here the meaning is different. Here, there the meaning is regulated life, regulated eating, sleeping habits, right? But here, yukta means to get connected to get connected. Yukta and viyukta, addition, subtraction. In that sense it has been used. So yada means when, viniyatam, niyatam means disciplined. Okay, viniyatam means vishesh roop se, in very highly disciplined. Cittam, chitta has different meaning. Chitta can be considered as consciousness, and this particular verse Prabhupada translates it as mind, and it also means the consciousness. Then ātmany means atma, atma means soul, atma also means paramatma, super soul, right? So in this particular context, that ātmany, it means paramatma, right? Ātmany eva means suddenly, there is no doubt about it, 100%. Avasthite means, say I am sitting here, it is I am avasthan. Normally what happens, the mind is very flickering, like I am moving like this. It is not a stable stage, it is not avasthita, it is anavasthita. Sometimes I may get up, I may fall down, so it is anavasthita. Avasthita means very stable, no movement at all, fixed up. That is avastha, eva vasthite. Then nispṛhaḥ, spṛha means desire, nis means negation, without any desire. Sarva-kāmebhyo, sarva means all, kama means lusty desire, or you can say desire, material desire. Correct, what is not lusty? Material desire. That is called kāmebhyo. If these three means, the first thing it says, when a yogi is his consciousness or his mind is niyatam, is fully disciplined. Vishesh roop se, it is fully disciplined, and also, and he is transcendentally situated. That is ātmany evāvatiṣṭhate. Evāvatiṣṭhate. So that means when the yogi is constantly in touch, situated at the Atma platform, in a Brahman platform, or in the Paramatma platform, and then in addition there is no desire for any material desire, and no expectation, no tendency, you can say, for any material desire. The same sloka comes in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion. Rupa Goswami says, Anyabhilasita sunyam jnana karmadi anabrutam. So there anyabhilasita sunyam. The same thing is nispṛhaḥ sarva-kāmebhyo. The meaning is anyabhilasita sunyam. No other desire, exclusively desire to serve Kṛṣṇa. That is the meaning. And also Narad Muni tells the other definition. What is that of bhakti? That is sarva-upadhi vinirmuktam. There is no designation. And sarva-upadhi vinirmuktam, then tat pratte nirmalam. This nirmalam. This nirmalam means, this means nispṛhaḥ sarva-kāmebhyo means nirmalam. That's completely pure. No material contamination. Right? And then rishikena rishikesha sevanam. By engaging the senses, it will come in the purport, right? The same, it's this sloka is nothing but the definition of bhakti. I mean, what is the qualification of a bhakta, right? It is exactly befitting. He has no material, he should be free from material desire, he should be fully fixed up in Paramatma or Bhagavan. In this verse, you can say for us devotees, Kṛṣṇa is the Paramatma, whom we are thinking in while chanting, while working, whatever, when we chant Krishna's name, who comes in our mind? Radhakrishna, or maybe Gaur-Nitai, or maybe Krishna Valna. Very rarely ISKCON devotees, they meditate on the four-arm Narayan form, right? Because we are Rupanugas, we are Gopi Bhava, we are followers of gopis. And then viniyataṁ cittam. So when that devotee's consciousness is fully fixed. So these three things are prerequisite. Then one can be called as yukta, ucyate tadā. That is the. So when it can happen? What is your expectation? It can happen tomorrow. It can happen today also. It can take so many lifetimes. It's up to Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa wants to give us this platform, he can give it within no time. But normally Kṛṣṇa doesn't do like that. Why? Kṛṣṇa wants to test us. How much eager we are. How much we are, eager means how much, bolte na, becheni, restless, uschuk. How much we are eager to get this position internally, not just externally. So that Aturta, it's exactly aturta in Hindi. So let us see what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he translates. He says, when the yogi by practice of yoga disciplines his mental activities and situated in transcendence, devoid of material desire. So here Prabhupada in the purport you have seen. Can you, Prabhuji, can you raise the purport in his book? I will read the purport so that it will be easy. So in this, in the 16th, 17th verse, if somebody is regulated in his activities, what will happen? He will escape from different sufferings of life. He'll be free from sufferings, right? If you regulate your diet, there will be no disease. You don't have to come to the physician, right? So similarly, the sleep, everything, then consciousness and mind will be fixed up. Otherwise, not. So that's why in sadhana bhakti, the morning program is giving. Devotees should get up early in the morning and do all this, this Mangalarti and all. So like that. So now that chitta, as I said, it includes the entire mental activity is called chitta. Mind has what all function? Thinking, feeling, willing, and rejecting and accepting. Okay. And then also, what are the other two functions of mind? Always it, what? It is restless, turbulent. It's described in the later on verse, Kṛṣṇa will tell. And these are different characteristics. So always it contemplates on the past and the future. The mind contemplates on the past and future. This is the state of our chitta. The best example I would like to give, all of you have seen a very big pond. Like we have so many sarovar, Radhakund, Syamkund, we go. Have you seen the surface of the water? There are many waves. Why? People keep throwing flowers, they throw some milk or some water. So it causes agitation of the water. So there are various water waves or Yamuna waves. So similarly, if you go to a pond, you go to the bottom, it is like a static. The water is not moving there. But here water is tottering, waves are there. So when in this particular stage, in yukta stage or yogarudha stage, the mind is like the bottom of the pond. It is like totally fixed up. Whereas when there is some external stimulus, so what happens? The consciousness become agitated. It moves. But that's why here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, when the motionless consciousness, what do you mean by motionless consciousness? Consciousness means it is a symptom of the soul. Okay. Motionless means it is fixed up with Kṛṣṇa. That doesn't mean like the impersonalists say. Prabhupada will tell later in the purport. The impersonalists, what they say? Come to the last paragraph. Yeah. This transcendental stage may be inexpressible subjectively by the followers of the impersonalist path. Right? So the word you read inexpressible subjectively. That means if you ask them, what is that happiness you are deriving? Can you explain? They'll say, no, we cannot express in words. That's why they use the word inexpressible. Subjectively. There are two things, subjective and objective. Objective means you can show just 1, 2, 3, just phonetic. But this subjective means it differs from you. You have a different way of thinking, expressing the things. I have a different realization, experience, right? So that's why the word subjective is used. So this particular thing Prabhupada has very elaborately, he has described that what is that motionless? Motionless means like the soul is always active. Soul cannot be static, right? It is by nature, the soul, it has to work. If you just tie the hands of a person, how long he has to move here, there, he will be restless, right? So similarly, the mind is also similar function. So that is why what happens, the soul cannot be just like the Mayavadi sannyasis. They try to withdraw the sense from the sense subject, which is very, very, very difficult. Isn't it? Suppose I'll say, don't look at girls, they are dangerous. You're a brahmachari, you will fall down. That is not a matured brahmachari. A matured brahmachari is that he is not agitated, he is not disturbed. This is what Kṛṣṇa is telling in this sloka. Even though there will be agitations, there will be various disturbances materially, but the sadhaka or the yogarudha stage bhakta, he will never get agitated. It comes in the bhava bhakti. There are 9 characteristics, secondary characteristics of bhakti. One is shanti. Shanti abhyartha kalattam. You remember that sloka? Shanti means, suppose you are going in a flight I remember one time I was traveling from Mumbai to Hyderabad to Calcutta. So in between, what happened? The flight, there are some air pockets. Suddenly there was a jerk, and the pilot announced, "All the air hostess, please sit down, sit down." So everybody, so the belts signal was on. So everybody. So that time I was chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Hare. So I was chanting because I was a devotee. Then I was thinking, if I die also, no problem. At least I will go back to Godhead. But ultimately the flight got calmed down. But that means the person who is not agitated, because I was connected to Krishna, I was not affected. Other people are screaming, oh, what happened? They were like screaming, Papa, Mummy, some names, not Krishna's name. We are taking Krishna's name. That is the advantage to become a devotee, right? So like that, it is said, motionless means they are fixed with Krishna. Like whatever activities we do, we chant the holy name. So we are spiritually fixed with the holy name. Or we see the deities, our mind is fixed up. So it's a samadhi stage. Basically there are three types of sannyasi, samadhi. One is sampragyatmika. Another is asampragyatmika. Sampragyatmika means, see, there is some object, either physical object or mental object. Physical object means, suppose you are meditating on the deity. It is a physical object. But you are meditating on a thought. Suddenly one thought came to your mind. Oh, this should be done. Krishna should be served like this. This is not proper for Krishna. He will feel bad. So that is called, one is vichar, one is object. So there are two types of, they are called sampragyatmika. Or asampragyatmika means, so that means there is no object, neither there is no thought. So it is completely spiritual. For example, the acharyas, they give, not acharyas, the one analogy I can give you. Suppose you are seeing a television or a mobile phone. There is some video going on. You are fully absorbed. Oh, somebody is giving the class, what is talking, or some other thing, news, media, something showing. So there, the absorption is total into the picture, right? But sometimes what happens, you are looking at the mobile phone or laptop, but your mind is thinking something else. It happens many times. So that is called sampragyatmika samadhi. So like that, what happens, the mind, it is not focusing on a material object, rather suddenly there is some manifestation of spiritual thoughts. It normally doesn't happen. Most of the practicing devotee like us, at least myself, I usually see some picture of the Kṛṣṇa, because I have not seen it Kṛṣṇa face to face. I'm not some of you might have seen. But the point is, like, we mostly focus on the deities or some picture, or from the description of Bhagavatam, some mental picture comes. These are all material label. Okay, it is sampragyatmika. Or sampragyatmika means, it is suddenly this thing will come. A picture will come or some thoughts will come. So that is totally spiritual. So, that is the best example. I would like to give certain examples. So just like you must have heard that while once Rupa Goswami, he was doing, actually they were living here in the physical body, but mentally they were there in the spiritual world. They are also participating in the Leela. So Rupa Goswami is seeing Srimati Radharani is trying to pick up a flower from the tree, and then suddenly Kṛṣṇa is lifting Radharani, and suddenly Kṛṣṇa left her. And she is hanging, she is screaming, Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa, please help me. And Kṛṣṇa is laughing. So when Kṛṣṇa is laughing, so you must have known this pastime, very favorite pastime. So then Rupa Goswami also started laughing, Then what happened? There was one exalted Vaishnava. He had some physical deformity, so he was passing by. So he thought Rupa Goswami is laughing at me. He felt insulted. So he ran away. Then suddenly the Leela stopped. It's a standard pastime. So then Rupa Goswami was very embarrassed. Oh, what happened? Then he consulted Sanatana Goswami. Then Sanatana Goswami asked, who was there while your meditation stopped? Was there anybody around? No, yes, one Vaishnava was passing. So do you know him? Yes, but how to ask for forgiveness? No, sorry, I don't know who is he. But I could see someone. So then Sanatana Goswami suggested you make a bhandara, make a big feast. You invite all the Vaishnavas. Obviously he is insulted, he will not come. So same thing happened. So he could see all the Vaishnavas are present except that exalted Vaishnava. So he could understand, he went to his house and asked for forgiveness. Say, Baba, This is not the fact. I was remembering this lila. So this is how it happened. One more pastime. So this is called asampradanya samadhi, where they are they are real. That's why we only follow the acharyas. We cannot, otherwise we will be speculating, right? Similarly, another lila you all know, one South Indian Brahmin in Pragjotishpur, Guwahati. So there he was meditating on the deity worship. He was doing deity worship mentally, and he cooked some kheer. And he was just touching, then finger got burned. That is another example. Third example is Srimati Radharani. While she was offering the Brahmar Geet, she was in a state of madness, transcendental madness. So that is another example. And Chaitanya Lila also, there are two examples. One is when Lord Chaitanya, he practically saw Kṛṣṇa in Jagannath Vallabh garden. You have seen Jagannath Vallabh garden in Jagannath Puri? It is considered as a Vrindavan in Jagannath Puri. Recently I went there. So he saw Kṛṣṇa and he started running to hug Kṛṣṇa, mood of Radharani, right? So then Kṛṣṇa disappeared. So he was very disappointed. So practically Kṛṣṇa was there. Then he disappeared. So this is another example. There's one more example you must have heard. That when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, suddenly he disappeared from his Gambhira house. And his assistants are very worried. Where is Mahaprabhu? Where is Mahaprabhu? Then they found suddenly the Mahaprabhu, he jumped inside the sea. In the thinking it is Yamuna. Then, yes, then what happened? He was found in Konark, near the Chandrabhaga seashore. So like that, many pastimes are there where it comes at the mental level, but it is actually spiritual. So it is called sampragyatmika. So let us see, Prabhupada in this verse, he is telling, this is not practical to withdraw the mind, and it is very difficult because to withdraw the sense from the sense subject it is possible, but it requires a lot of effort. So whereas the devotees, they don't do that. What they do? They do yukta vairaga. Whatever is there, they utilize for Krishna's service. Nirbandhe Krishna sambandhe yukta vairagyam ucyate. So like that, Rupa Goswami says, whatever things like microphone, this laptop, this watch, these books, mobile phone, everything can be utilized for Krishna's service, right? So for devotees becomes very easy, right? And also devotees, they don't want to be secluded place like the impersonalist Prabhupada says here. They always prefer to stay in association with devotees so that I can remember Krishna. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That is what practiced by the Vaishnava sannyasis. Whereas the Mayavadi sannyasis, they want to withdraw their mind from Krishna, from the sense subject, and try to attach to Krishna, which is very, very difficult. It's not natural for the soul. So like that, then we see Ambarish Maharaj, what he was doing? He was engaging in mind in remembering the lotus feet of Krishna. Manas, what is that first line is? Sabai mana Krishna padaravind. Always he was meditating the lotus feet of Krishna. So otherwise, you see, Durvasa Muni, he was such a great yogi, but he could not control his anger. He tried to kill Ambarish Maharaj, but Ambarish Maharaj was not disturbed because his mind was fixed up in the lotus feet of Krishna. He never committed any offense. Whereas Durvasa Muni, he was chased by Sudarsana, you know the pastime, right? So similarly, Ambarish Maharaj was also, the words were that he was always describing the pastimes of Krishna. Though he was the king, he used to take Bhagavatam class in the morning and also evening. He was always talking about the Bhagavad Katha. So where is the chance for the mind to go for sense gratification? And then his hands, he was personally cleaning the temple. Not that he will ask his servant, you clean. No, he was personally cleaning this temple premises. And his ears, he was hearing constantly Hari Katha. So you must have read in Nectar of Instruction, there are 5 stages to reach this stage. First is Sravanam, Sravan Dasa, then Varan Dasa. Once you hear properly, then you can speak also. If you hear attentively, then only you can speak. Then next is Smaran Dasa. If you hear nicely, you talk, while talking, I am remembering what all past time I am talking, the picture is coming in mind. Then Smaranam comes. Then next is Dhyan and Dharana. There is 4 stages again. Partial absorption, deep absorption, complete absorption, like that. The complete absorption stage is called Samadhi. So like that, just like Parikshit Maharaj, he was hearing Bhagavatam Katha. At the end of the year, while Takshak snake, it bit his dead body. Because by that time, Parikshit Maharaj left his body. He was so much absorbed in Krishna Katha. So that is one example. And in the eyes, we should see the deities very, very mature. Almost 45 minutes to 1 hour it will take. From lotus feet, then ankle, then gradually go up. So nice decoration, all the ornaments. Then the mental picture will be there. Then only this Yogarudha stage we can reach. That is why Prabhupada made so many facilities. Earlier days, while ISKCON was not there, people used to go to long places. To Jagannath Puri means so many 1,000 kilometers, isn't it? Or some few temples, But now every village, every city there is a ISKCON center. Non different from Vrindavan, non different from Vaikuntha. So that is the greatness of our acharyas. And then, and with the skin, we should touch the lotus feet of the spiritual master and the Vaishnavas. Practically we should touch. There's a very good, and he was doing that, Amrish Maharaj. And smelling flowers and tulsi leaf. And I was thinking, it is mentioned that Tulasi, he was tasting Tulasi. Tasting Tulasi means he was honoring prasadam. Not just Tulsi leaf, the entire prasadam, in that sense it has been told. And we are doing parikrama, that is also utilization of the legs. So all these things, and the main thing is the desire. The only desire for 24 hours, we should think how to serve Krishna. Somebody is cooking, he or she is thinking how Krishna will like this item, and he or she is also in his mind or his words, he is chanting Krishna, Krishna, Radha, Krishna. Some songs or some holy name, or Vibhu Chaitanya Prabhu, he was singing and he always used to cooking in the DT department. So similarly, somebody is washing the cloth of Krishna, washing the dish, or somebody is preaching the Krishna. So there you also, so there is an ample opportunity. That's why 24 hours, unless one is engaged, one cannot reach this stage. So that is the training Prabhupada is giving to us. So this is how, and the Ramanujacharya, he gives a very nice commentary on this. He says, normally our mind goes for sense gratification. That is why Prabhupada has clearly mentioned the sex desire, especially, which is the strongest material desire. One time Prabhupada asked the person who built this building, this temple, Guru Prabhu. He said, Prabhupada, I have built this building, the temple construction is over, it is ready for inauguration. Then Prabhupada called him to a private place. Have you controlled your sex desire or not? He said, no. Another time, Maharaj, name I am forgetting, Prabhupada disciple, he asked, wow, Prabhupada asked, how is your preaching work? Prabhupada, I have gone to China, I have gone to Africa. Same question Prabhupada asked. Again he said, he thought, okay, Prabhupada, he has no control, not mentally. He is a sannyasi. He is telling Prabhupada. Prabhupada, but I also went to South Africa recently. So many devotees are ready for initiation. Prabhupada again asked, have you controlled your sense gratification? Third time also they asked. The point is, that is the crux. That is the single, we can know ourselves, no need to ask. Like Prabhupada says, litmus test. So unless that material desire is disappearing, that means we are not advancing. There is some fault somewhere. That is why so many rules, regulation. Once sadhana bhakti is there, then bhava bhakti will manifest. Right? So to go to that stage, one has to and then bow down in front of the deities, the head. So like that, there is another similar statement, just like Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 4th canto, 9th canto, 4th chapter, we discussed this verse. Similarly, 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 61 verse. I will just read it. There also Kṛṣṇa says, Tāni sarvāni samamya yukta asita matparaha. Tāni sarvāni means these senses, all these senses, samamya means they are fully under control, sayamit. Yukta asita na paraha. Yukta means they are engaged. Asita means situated, and they are situated. Na para means in relation to Krishna. It is 2.61. You can read Bhagavad Gita, very wonderful purport. So, Vasehi jasyendriyani tasya prajna pratisthita. It is a verse 54 to 72. It describes the qualities of sthita prajna. Right? So there it is mentioned. Vase means under control. Then jasyendriya. Jasyendriya, whose senses? It is called jasyendriya. Then prajna means consciousness. Pratisthita means fixed. So there also Kṛṣṇa says. So there the example he quotes how Ambarish Maharaj was saved and but Durvasa Muni he fell down. So that is what there also he says. So I think time is another just 1 minute is there. So I will just summarize what we discussed today. So there are the 3 criteria required for Yogarudha stage. First thing, our consciousness is totally disciplined. Our mind should be disciplined. Exclusively it should be free from any material desire. It's not so easy. Prabhupada is because it is the main point. And also evāvatiṣṭhate ātmani. We should be only contemplating the super soul. Fixed means in the service. Whatever service you do, whatever action we do, these hands, these legs, all the whole body, mind, everything can be utilized for Kṛṣṇa service. And then nispṛhaḥ sarva-kāmebhyo. It is totally free from material desire. Then one is said yukta ucyate tadā. Then one is called to be Yogarudha stage. So this is how the is there. So today the time is over anyway. So 6:30. So any comments you can, or otherwise I will just end here. It's a very, so tomorrow in this connection, the next verse actually, it will tell us what is the example. Okay, this statement you said, so example, the 19th verse you will be hearing tomorrow. I am just telling the part of it because it is actually related to this sloka, 18th sloka, 18th verse. So the best example of the mind as a controlled mind is the flame. You just put a candle or a flame in the room and there should not be any flow of air. It's completely motionless. Then how the flame will be? Just straight. No deviation. But suppose there is you switch on the fan or make the door open, it will start wavering. So then same analogy Kṛṣṇa gives. The next verse, tomorrow you will be hearing. So that is what this sloka says. So then Kṛṣṇa will describe further what are the other qualifications of Yogarudha stage. Hare Kṛṣṇa. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय। उपस्थित समस्त भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर सीतानाथ प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल।